So here's a good job. Customer calls me out to put a doggy door in their laundry room, go outside, so the dog can get out. Seemingly straightforward. One of the things you kind of almost expect to run into, and we did here, is wiring in the wall at that spot. There was a wire running, two wires actually running straight across. So when that happens, you got to cut them, you got to relocate them. You end up putting a box on one side, a box on the other side, which I've already covered up, and then you run patch cables, which is these two down here, over. And on this side, I'm going to not just tie them together in a junction box, I'm going to add one GFI receptacle in there. And I had to go to the big square boxes because with this many cables, according to the National Electrical Code, the standard size single gang box would not accommodate all the wires, much less a receptacle in there. That's kind of where we're at, just anticipating problems come out with a full set of electrical tools. Boxes at the ready, because you can almost count on these wires. The other thing, working in a laundry room, you know you're working in cramped quarters. You're seeing everything cleaned up right now. These machines were pulled out. They were extremely tight quarters, trying to get behind them and get back and forth with tools and a vacuum cleaner. And there was a water leak back there. One of the fittings that I encountered was only hand tight. I could spin it without a tool, so I had to give it another revolution and tighten it down. The hoses are shot, the washers are shot. They have integral washers, and one of the fittings on one of the hoses is not perfectly round, and it would not thread back on well, so there's going to be another trip out to pick up two new laundry hoses, washing machine hoses, to go on this job. And also, anytime you move a dryer, you pretty much expect you're going to have problems with the dryer vent, which is down there. And sure enough, that piece just completely came out of the wall instead of being fastened to the port on the outside like it should have been. It's just cheaply made materials. That came out. There was a bunch of lint in the walls, so I cleaned up the lint. Lots of mess on the floor. Cleaned up the floors. Everything's kind of back in place, except I need to get the new washing machine hoses. But before I do that, two of the circuits in the customer's house are dead until I get this wiring done. So that's the first priority. Get the wiring done, get the washing machine back in order, and then I can get back to actually putting in the doggy door for the customer. So what you think might be a short job ends up being an easy 8-hour job. In this case, involving 2 trips out to the customer's house, plus 2 trips out to the store to pick up unexpected materials. So that's what you get into. Hope that's helpful for people thinking of taking on a job like this.